I can demo. Um, so the first of the like new column types has landed. There's still some improvements coming to it, but we have link columns now. So if you go into the configuration for a field on a table, there's this now like display tab, and I can display it as a link, and then that gives me some options. So if I want to do a custom URL, just like google.com, then these now pop open to a static URL, but probably more interesting would be to point them at a field. So now these are pointing at this, it's a static, but imagine these were like people's social media or whatever. Then that'll open up to whatever website you post them to. Um, and then finally, and this is the part that hasn't landed quite yet, is we have an embed event. So if we want like to put my event in here, um, then these will now, they don't do anything when you click on them, but they send out a post message to the parent frame. So if I add a listener on post message and click, then you can see that I get the parent frame along with some, a data payload. And so the data payload is basically like a description of what it is, the event, and inside that we have what was clicked on and then what is in the row that was clicked on. So if people want to populate a form or something like that, they'll have that information. And I think that's it for the link types. The next types we're going to do are probably image, which will have a lot of the same configuration.
Richard, underneath that stuff, is there model? Like, how are we thinking about that vis-a-vis the model?
I think that there is some work that we're talking about to add like more specifically modeled link fields, but I think that they would be configured in the model and kind of like distinct from this.
Okay.
Um,
So these will
yeah,
like live at the
they'll,
content level,
they'll live at
probably.
the table level. Yeah,
Okay.
It's sort of like it's like viz config effectively. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I think just us having a philosophy for what lives where is going to be helpful for people.
And,
Um,
and we'll
like with
want more.
colors is like a great example where I feel like um, you could see wanting to have like a field values have colors in the model. Like that seems pretty elegant. But then if we put everything from color in the viz config into the model, that's obviously not going to work, make any sense or work. But like paths for it can be really, really powerful.
Totally, and we'll want reusability along the lines of viz config too. That could be coming from model for certain things that sort of makes they're a little bit like more semantically defined. Like, I do think that color associated with like if this its status and complete is green and failed is red and in progress is yellow or something makes sense. And like there's probably stuff beyond that really just needs to be reusable viz config kind of logic too.
Eli, do you intentionally have your hand up?
Yeah. Cause I don't know much. Could somebody give me like a product spiel, like explain like I'm five, like use case and why those events, like why we want those? Like I don't like it was cool, but I don't get it.
It's really people building out operational experiences on top of data explicitly. So like the things we build automatically, so drills and links today end up helping people build operational workflows. So you say like, okay, I'm looking at what the sum of sale price. I want to go see the individual order items or see the specific constituent pieces for it. Helps the non-data person go and ask that subsequent question, and then the event that passes back payloads for it too mean you can kind of customize what that paper is. So it's no longer just limited to drill. You could instead say like, if the user clicks on complete, I could publish it and do things like cross filter it, or I could update the status page, or I could update other APIs or something like that in sort of a more complete workflow.
Yeah. Like
In the,
literally, people would draw like a dialogue on top of the iframe that would be like maybe it's a drill, but a lot of times it was like interactive, like because they actually like would like drive a lot of times it was like drive a sale. Like they'd be like, this user looks like they're about to churn, so reach out, send it get them on board for a new campaign to like bring them back, things like that.
So it's just like a power user customization facility. Okay.
It's
Well,
it's
it's for
sticky.
it's
In this
for when
case-
people are like buying Omni to sell back to their own customers.
Interplay learning was part of, I think, Richard, correct me if I'm wrong, might have been part of what helped spark this too. They have a specific use case where they're trying to do some custom drill downs and stuff in tables where they're actually popping out other pages that exist in their app that they want to have like a drill to and kind of link together between the iframe and the parent frame. They were kind of doing some of that through the post message that Richard built out to the markdown tile, but this kind of helps enable some other stuff in the table setting as well.
Yeah, they literally rebuilt a table in Markdown so that they could do this, which isn't ideal. It's nice to kind of give us a proper support for it.
I can think of some other cute examples, like essentially a download button on each cell. Like I want a table of all the orders this user had, and you could just make that hit the download API and then download that tile without having to go through like the handshake of like open link, then hit download. So it's like applicationizing.
Cool. Thank you.